So, one of the questions that pops up very often on the Premiere certification test is, in general, things like adding filters to video. But one of the specific questions that popped up was this last time was cropping. Understand what you have to do in general is you have to add an effect to a video. You have to find the effect and drag it specifically to the video that you want to affect. So for us, for this particular instance, there's a question on the test that asked you to, there was text on the side of the screen and you had video, and they wanted you to crop the video so that the text was over black and the video was still on the left side of the screen. So that's what we're going to do. To know how do we do that, though, we have to understand that the text is this little pink layer right here, and the video is the little blue layer right here. And we just know that. We can move it, and we've got the text right there. It's in its own layer. And the video is over here in its own layer. You have to know which layer the video you want to affect is on so that you can drag the effect or the filter to that video. Because if you put it on the text, it's not going to have the same effect on it. Okay? So that's generically what we have to do. So to do that, we normally have this is the main screen. You got your project panel down here in the lower left. You have your source panel up here in the top left. Your program panel over here on the top right, and you have your timeline panel over here in the bottom right. So to do that, to do what we need to do, the question asks you to crop the video so that the text is over black. So to do that, we're going to have to crop out this right side of the screen, okay? So to do that, we got to open up this effects tab right here. It's going to open up the effect panel over here on the right. Normally it's over here on the right. You can drag this effects panel to wherever you want it to, but the default mode is for it to be over here on the right. And so when you open up the effects tab, you have things like different little presets that you've made, color correction options. You have audio effects, which is a bunch of different audio effects you can do, audio transitions, you can do video effects, which is where we're going to go, and video transitions. But since we're adding an effect, crop is an effect. Anytime it asks you to add something that adjusts the video, that's an effect. So we're going to come up here to video effects, and the cropping filter is in one of these folders somewhere. You can go through here and look. If you don't know where it is, you can click through all the folders. I just happen to know it's in the transform folder because you end up using crop a lot. But if you don't, let's say if you don't know where something is, but you know it's an effect, you can come up here to the little search bar and just type crop, and it shows you where it is in what folder it is, and then it just takes you to it, so you can click it, and then, like I said, drag it to the video. You don't want to drop it on. You're affecting the video, so you want to take that effect and drop it, click it and drag it, drop it onto the video. Now, you notice when we did that, nothing happened. That's because in Premiere, when you're editing, you can make video do exactly what you want it to do. The filter is there to help you. So once you've dragged it on there, and once you've applied that to your video, you now need to go into the Effect Control panel by double-clicking. Okay, come up here to Effect Controls in the top left-hand side. It's almost always going to be over here in the top left when you've opened it like that. But if it's not, it's going to be in the source panel, or it should be in the source panel. So you double-click your video, and that opens it up here in the source panel. You click on Effect Controls. And then here are all the effect controls you can add to your video. You can move the position, you can change the scale, you can scale, which would be size, you can make it smaller or bigger. You can tell it to do whatever you want it to do. For us, though, we're going to come all the way down here to crop. which is the last video effect filter. You have your audio effects too. So if you have an effect to, if you want to add an effect to the audio, you would double click it and it would also show up here just like everything else in the little audio section. But for us, we're adding crop. And here you can add crop to the left side of the screen, which is not what we want. You can add crop to the bottom, which is also not what we want. But see what we're doing? We're cropping. And obviously, you can do the top, which is also not what we want. But you see what's happening. So we're cropping. What we want is to adjust the right. So in the test, it'll probably tell you a specific place to crop it. Like it'll probably tell you crop it to 50%. For our purposes today, we're just going to say 50%. Okay? And you can see it right there. See where I adjusted the right hand crop right here. You can see where my mouse is. And you can drag the setting all the way over here. So you can see what happened in there is the desired effect, which is the video is over here on the left, and now our text is over black. That's what the question on the test generically asks you to do. Now, if they give you a specific setting, you can come over here in this blue text right here and click in there and just type it, 50%. I want to crop it to 50. Okay, and that makes the adjustment so you don't have to be frame accurate here with your hands. Okay, so you can just type it. Now, that's essentially it. So that is how the crop effect works. That's how pretty much every effect works. You drag it to the clip, you double click it, you open it up in effect controls, and you find that filter, which is right here, you see crop, and then you make your adjustments. You kind of have to know what the adjustments are, and you need to know how to do that. But at least if you know how to find the effect, how to apply it to the clip, and how to make the adjustments, everything else is normally stated very clearly for you, specifically what to do in the test. So if you know those things, you can normally work your way through it and solve problems as they arise. Okay, that's it for this time. That's cropping in Adobe Premiere and applying effects to video in Adobe Premiere. We'll see you again on another video. Thanks.